Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling for our TNA 2007 playthrough. We're in August, and we are at the Hard Justice pay-per-view. Tonight, we're going to be showing you the Hard Justice pay-per-view, and, well, we've already booked the show, and we'll get into the results soon, but I just kind of realized that I might need to make a few changes to the show. But it's going to be a big one, of course. We've got a big event. We've got some new signings recently. Recently we got CM Punk. That's our big signing that we recently got. CM Punk will be joining us really soon. Cannot wait for that. Having him on our roster will be absolutely insane. Really looking forward to that. Most recent shows, you know, we had Impact. We had an 88 rated show. 13,000 attendance. We had Abyss beating Christian in the main event. Machine Guns beat Jay Lethal and Paul London. James Storm beat Frankie Kazarian. Lashley defeated Billy Gunn. Scott Steiner defeated Rhino in a Battle for Glory series match. Lita beat Alyssa Flash, and a few more as well. So I just kind of realized it is Hard Justice, and I probably need to add in, you know, another hardcore-ish matchup. I was going to do that with the main event, which I might go ahead and change now. I don't know. What we've done for today is we've done 3 fatal 4-ways, and it's a bit of a fatal 4-way theme. I figured, okay, we've got to do a special Bound for Glory series match, and let's take a look at the Bound for Glory series right now. So, as you can see on your screen right now, Abyss is currently in first place. He has 31 points rather. Matt Morgan has 25 after getting that big win last pay-per-view. Christian has 24. Jeff Hardy 17. Joe Styles as well both have 17. Jericho, A-Train, Nakamura, and Steiner just have 14, so you can see Jericho pretty low right now. He's got a bit of catching up to do. Rhino and Ron Killing's yet to win a matchup, so a little bit disappointing for those two, but hey, they're going to have to verse each other, you'd think, at one point, maybe, so they might have a chance to get a win there. Someone will get a win. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Then we shift it back over here. So yeah, it is Hard Justice, and I kind of figured, oh man, you know, maybe I need to add in a hardcore type of matchup. We've gone with obviously 3 fatal 4-ways, so if we go back to the Bound for Glory series, so the top 4 are in a fatal 4-way, 5, 6, 7, 8 are in a fatal 4-way, and 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've kind of had 3 different brackets, so I've broken it up, you know, 4, 4, 4. So that's kind of how I've done it. So someone in the top will get a big win, someone in the middle will get a big win, and someone down the bottom will get a big win. So kind of, you know, change the ladder pretty dramatically, I would assume. Yeah, it's a lot of fatal 4-ways, and I know I normally don't like doing too many of those types of matches, but I've gone ahead and done it anyway, so I figured why not something different. So will that be enough to cover the hardcore? And it's Hard Justice. It doesn't have to be hardcore justice. It's not called hardcore justice. It's called Hard Justice. So it doesn't have to be hardcore. And I guess fatal 4-ways essentially are no DQ matches, so they're all going to be no DQ and whatnot. So that's going to be fine. So I was thinking maybe the main event, Hassan and Jeff Jarrett would have some kind of stipulation, but obviously I want to have some kind of screwy finish, and to have a screwy finish, it needs to not have a stipulation involved. So we're probably going to leave that one alone as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and just say, okay, the fatal 4-ways are going to be enough. I'm hoping they're going to be enough anyways for my liking. But yeah, so Hard Justice right now. Most recently, if you've missed a few episodes, Low Key, his contract's up. He's going to be leaving us really soon, unfortunately. So another guy leaving our roster, which is a bit of a shame because he's such a great worker, but he's a freelancer, which means basically we only get him every 6 months, and we'll have to wait probably another 6+ months to get him again, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so we could give Ric Flair a match as well. He's obviously now available. He only wrestles on events. That's the only time he will wrestle, but he will of course appear elsewhere. But yeah, I don't think there's a spot for Ric Flair right now. I think we might have Ric Flair have his in-ring debut at Bound for Glory maybe, and I was thinking, you know, if depending on who wins, we could have, you know, one of our top baby faces beat him and go over, and that could be AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, or Jericho. Maybe one of those guys that they could go over Ric Flair in the big main event. Well, not the main event, but one of the big matches at Bound for Glory. And Ric Flair's first match in TNA. And just kind of a big occasion, a big moment. I feel like that could be a good option for us going forward. So that's something we might keep in the back of our mind and maybe have Ric Flair compete there. depending what we're going to do with the Main Event Mafia, of course. But that's one of the ideas that got thrown around at the moment. But we've got Hard Justice booked. We may as well just jump straight in. Let's see the results of the show, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's take a look. Let's run the show. We do have 24 minutes of available pre-show time, so we might add in another matchup just to kind of fill in the card a little bit more. Some of our top guys, like the Dudleys, for example, missing out. Yeah, some of our singles guys as well. Lashley will be in a segment, so he'll be okay. So we might give Monty Brown a match. We really haven't used Monty Brown very well at all as of late. He still has nearly 70 pops, so he's still doing really well. And we just kind of need to get him involved in the global title picture. I think that might be his best chance to give himself an opportunity there. And we might give him a matchup. Let's check out. Let's see. Not really a great opponent for him. Let's give Cesaro an opportunity. Let's see how these two kind of match up. There's not really a great upper mid-card opponent available for Monty Brown, but we'll just do that one just to fill in a bit more time and have enough guys, hopefully, on the pre-show. So let's just have one last little look here. We're opening up with Shelley and Jay Lethal for the X Division titles to make sure they don't put the title involved there, which seems to be all good. So let's jump in. Actually, one last check. Yeah, okay, so let's do it. So we opened up with LAX, which is Homicide and Chavo versus Team Canada. 83 rated, Homicide 100. Homicide and Chavo have excellent chemistry together. So Chavo, he's gone from achieving like high 60s to now in the 80s, mid 80s with Homicide. So these two as a team will hopefully be really successful for us, and I think it will be. We had Park, or Neville as we now know him. He had his in-ring debut on the pre-show, but a chance just to see where he's at, how he's performing against Rocky Romero, and his British Bulldog gimmick, which is just kind of, whatever, a really good wrestler type of gimmick from England. It was given above average, so it's a good start. Park 76, considering he has 48 pop, that's really solid. Rocky Romero 81, so overall, you'd have to say it's a big tick from both guys with those performances. Alyssa Flash took on Awesome Kong, and Awesome Kong got the victory over Flash. Alyssa, though, 72, Awesome Kong 68, so both were pretty good. In the match we just had, Monty Brown, Cesaro 81, so Monty is 76, that's much better from Monty Brown as well. Cesaro is 77, so that's a really good performance from Monty. Considering he's normally around the low 70s, if he can continue to strive towards 80, then he might get more of an opportunity to really show himself. I think he's a guy that he's a bit of a homegrown TNA talent that kind of gets passed over a little bit. So it'd be cool to kind of move him up the card and get him to the top. Unfortunately, there's so many other guys that are probably just ahead of him at the moment. But if he can keep improving, that'd be fantastic. Opened up with Shelley and Jay Lethal. Yeah, probably not the strongest start, but it's interesting as to why. Alex Shelley won the X Division Championship back, as we kind of expected him he would. Got over the whole shock factor situation, won it back, beat Jay Lethal. Shelley 91 and Lethal 81, but for some reason the match only got 75. So what was the deal? Held back? Yeah, and I guess a short match length. It was 14 minutes, so you would have thought that might be okay, but and I also thought, Jay Lethal not having the best of popularity, going too long might impact the show a little bit, no pun intended, so I kind of played it safe with 14 minutes, but apparently a little bit too short, so penalised a little bit. We then had a music video promoting CM Punk. I know it's going to rate pretty poorly, but I wanted just to get CM Punk's name out there. He's going to be coming, and I've seen and I've used these over the course of many other playthroughs, and I've noticed that they really do rate pretty well. And what I mean by that is that if you do, 2 or 3 or 4 promo videos leading up to the debut of someone, you can sometimes increase their popularity by 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. So it'd be fantastic if we can do the same here for Punk, because he's currently about 50 pop. If we can get him to 55 before he debuts, that'd be excellent. I don't know if we will, but at least we're going to try. We then had a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. So with Fallen Angel not being available, he's still injured. we needed to do something a little bit different, so we're going to involve the other tag team feuds that we had going on. So we obviously had Austin Aries and Roderick Strong versus New Age Outlaws and Team Canada. That's been a bit of a tag team feud we've had going on. I probably should have put Kazarian or Fallen Angel in commentary. I kind of forgot to do that, but that's okay. Not a big deal. James Storm, Chris Harris, 96 apiece. Kevin Thorne, 67. Test, 77. Road Dogg, 88. Billy Gunn, really bad at 61. What the hell happened to Billy Gunn? That was a really bad performance. Roderick Strong, 90. Austin Aries, 99. Wow. So what happened to Billy Gunn? I mean, he's just declining, but that's a really sharp decline. I swear he got 70s not long ago. But 87 overall, that's a good tag team title match, and gotta be happy with that. We had a promo from Lita hyping up a match against Gail Kim. Yes, we're still going to give Lita and Gail Kim a singles match. I mean, unfortunately, Lita's struggling, but I think we did improve her stamina, so I'm hoping that that does improve her performances a little bit and she stops being terrible. We then had our first of our 3 Fatal 4-Ways. I know 3 Fatal 4-Ways is a bit of an overkill, but I thought it was a cool concept. It really was a great way, in my opinion, to give 3 big winners lots of points for the Bound for Glory series and give 3 guys in the series a chance to either go from the bottom to the middle to the top, and go from the top with a bit of a lead. So I thought that was a cool little concept that, I thought of. Anyways, first of our Fatal 4-Ways was pretty good, 85. So it was the weaker of the competitors that we have in the series. So it was Scott Steiner, Nakamura, Rhino, and Truth. Steiner 78 was pretty good. That's good from him. Nakamura 85, Rhino 86, and Truth 78. So nobody really was bad at all. But we did have Scott Steiner win, and he won with because of the Main Event Mafia interfering. So Sting came in, he interfered, and he attacked R-Truth, helping Scott Steiner win. So the Main Event Mafia just kind of forcing their way around here a little bit and ensuring that one of their members gets a big win here in the series and moves up from the bottom towards the middle of the pack here in the Bound for Glory series. We then had a promo after, sorry, not a promo, it was an attack. It was Steiner, Ric Flair, and Sting beating down Truth, Nakamura, and Rhino. So it wasn't enough that the Main Event Mafia cost Truth the match and gave Scott Steiner the win. They then decided, alright, let's add insult to injury, let's do a little bit more, and let's beat down the 3 of them. So a few more angles to hopefully just boost up the Mafia a little bit. And I know we're pushing veterans and older guys, but that's kind of what the group's all about. And something for these legends to do that we haven't really had much for them. So I'm hoping this does work out pretty well for us. Matt Morgan and Nakamura. So what we had is Matt Morgan was kind of taunting Nakamura afterwards to continue that little rivalry. We just had Matt Morgan just kind of making fun of Nakamura for losing and then getting beaten up. And Matt Morgan kind of gloating, hey, I'm towards the top of the leaderboard and you're still down the bottom. And, so just kind of gloating a little bit there. Lita took on Gail Kim. So Lita was a lot better. So we improved her stamina. We figured, look, it's 2007. She can go past 10 minutes. The match was only 10 minutes long. So it wasn't even that long of a match. And to have 78 was crazy. They have great chemistry. Lita, 77. That's more like it. So one little tweak of her stats to make it realistically, to make it more realistic. But let's be honest, Lita, she should be able to work more than a 10-minute match in 2007. If it was 2018, yeah, maybe, but she's still relatively in her prime. She retires from the in-ring competition around this point, but she can still work. She can still go. And that tweak did really improve her quite greatly. Now getting a 77, that's fantastic. It's still not brilliant, but that's good enough for her to be in the conversation for a title shot or something like that down the line. She did beat Gail Kim, so that could have been a longer match. We only made it be 10 minutes, and it was, it is a heel versus heel feud, but we kind of need our top 2 names that aren't involved in the title picture right now in a feud, and that's why we're going for it. So something like this down the line, if one of them was a face, one was a heel, this could have been in the 80s plus. So that's a good performance. Gail Kim was really good as well, 79. So Lita with the big victory. We then had Goldberg come to the ring. He called out Lashley. He said, Lashley, get out here. Let's do it. And they went at it. So Goldberg speared down Lashley, hit him with the jackhammer, laid him out, and got a bit more revenge. So instead of having these 2 wrestle, we're going to kind of save that match for Bound for Glory. We're just going to keep these two interacting on big occasions and have Lashley squash a few guys in between, and eventually they'll clash at Bound for Glory. Goldberg getting the one up here on Lashley on this occasion, and it rated really well at 98, so that's fantastic. So that really could improve Lashley's popularity quite greatly, and maybe even Goldberg's. And a really strong angle on a pay-per-view has the potential to do so much for the popularity of your worker. So if you play TW yourself, in which of course you can if you use code TWBP and get $5 off your TW game, there's the plug. But if you play TW yourself, especially when you're playing one of the bigger companies, you know, WWE, TNA, New Japan, if you use an angle and the angle's successful, quite often that's even better than beating a big name, especially when it's an angle, because nobody loses. Everyone wins, it's an angle, it does well. So angles can be so crucial, especially on pay-per-views. So I know, you know, certainly pay-per-views you always think, okay, it's all about the matches. Spice in and kind of squeeze in a few angles here and there, it could really do yourself a lot of wonders. Afterwards, we had the Main Event Mafia cut a promo on Muhammad Hassan. They taunted him, and Jeff Jarrett, basically the leader of that, saying he's going to beat him tonight, type of thing. 99 rated, really, really good. And Ric Flair was really good as well. Our second of our Fatal 4-Ways went really well, 94 rated. I actually thought this was the strongest out of our Fatal 4-Ways when I looked at the competitors involved. Chris Jericho suffered a fractured cheekbone, so that's not good. Ooh, Jericho did win. He pinned A-Train. Actually, we got him down for submission there, so we might have to adjust that. So Jericho made A-Train tap with the walls of Jericho. Samoa Joe 91, Styles 92, Jericho 95, A-Train 89. So when I looked at this match, I thought, man, this could be the strongest out of them all. Even though it's the middle of the pack, these are the mid-range guys involved. Yet they probably had the best chance to put on the best match, and it really was really good. 94 rated, very happy with that. Fractured cheekbone, let's hope that doesn't keep him out for too long. Afterwards, we had Christian come out. He just cheap shotted Chris Jericho, who was celebrating his win. Christian kind of brought him back down to earth a little bit, struck him down. So continuing on that feud that's been going on for a while, this competitive rivalry that's got to have to, you know, it's going to have to come to heads again at some point in the future. And there we go, 88. We had Matt Hardy have a match against Bobby Roode. I don't think it's his debut or anything. I don't think so, but certainly his pay-per-view debut, I believe, in terms of in-ring. 79 rated. Both guys were 85 apiece, but didn't quite rate highly. Not sure why. 15-minute match. Maybe that brought it down a little bit. Low storyline heat was apparently the issue. Okay, but yeah, 85 apiece. Matt Hardy getting the victory. Obviously, you know, to try and put Matt Hardy over. And would like to have the Hardy Boys kind of do something maybe at Bound for Glory in terms of the tag titles. But for now, Matt Hardy just has to wait until Jeff Hardy's finished with the Bound for Glory series, so he's kind of in limbo a little bit. But I figured we'll put him with Bobby Roode a bit and do something there, and it worked out pretty well. Abyss had a promo cutting one on Jeff Hardy, which is one of the guys he'll take on later on the Fatal 4-Way. And here was the Fatal 4-Way. So it did actually not perform as good as the second one. So the third Fatal 4-Way, Abyss, Matt Morgan, Jeff Hardy, and Christian. Jeff Hardy got the victory. He beat, I think he pinned. Yes, he pinned Matt Morgan after Nakamura came back, distracted Matt Morgan. So Matt Morgan early on the show was kind of bragging, oh, I'm going to win tonight. You're so far out of this tournament. There's no chance you're going to come back and win. Taunting Nakamura for getting beaten up. So Nakamura got a bit of revenge later on, and he distracted Matt Morgan, costing him the match, and Jeff Hardy was able to take advantage. And that was actually Abyss's first loss in the tournament, and Jeff Hardy with a big amount of points, so that should really bump him up, and he might be very close to being in the lead at the moment. I'll have a quick look now. So I don't have the graphic made, but I can tell you now, Abyss has 31, Jeff Hardy 27, Matt Morgan 25, Christian 24, Jericho and Steiner have 24 as well. So the two winners of the Fatal 4-Ways have now come equal fourth. They are just 1 point away from being above the red line well and truly, and Jeff Hardy is cemented his place in the top four. He's now in second place. So the Fatal 4-Ways proved to be huge here tonight for everybody involved. We still have one more match to go. Actually, we have two more matches. So we had Sarah Del Rey versus Melina. Just put this in between two of our big matches as a way to try and cool things down a little bit. Sarah Del Rey 56, Melina 85, and somehow got 83. Okay, that could really benefit Sarah Del Rey a lot. having a big match like that in the card may actually help out her popularity quite greatly, because she's one of the low-end workers we've got. We just kind of stuck her with Melina for someone, something to do for Melina while we kind of wait for maybe Lita. But yeah, 83, really good, really good. Melina's fantastic. Then we had a hype video from Muhammad Hassan, Jeff Jarrett. So we are going to make this the main event. It's a risk. I don't know how well this is going to go. Obviously, heel versus heel. Look, it's not ideal. A lot of you guys are saying, Brendan, you've got to drop the belt off of Muhammad Hassan. You've got to have, Hassan got to have Jeff Jarrett win the belt, or someone's got to take the belt off Hassan. Yeah, I get that, but we're sticking with Hassan a little bit longer, probably until Bound for Glory. Let the storyline play out, and maybe after Bound for Glory, Muhammad Hassan kind of, has a bit of time off. Maybe, I'm not sure, but Jeff Jarrett just isn't the guy. It's simple as that. Just isn't the guy we're looking for to win the belt. But he is the guy we can use to put over the Main Event Mafia as a strong faction, and also be very, very competitive, and hopefully put on a good match. So let's see how this does rate. I'm hoping that it's around at least 90, because that will complete a pretty good pay-per-view for us. And it's just 88. So Muhammad Hassan 96, Jeff Jarrett 94, and it was Muhammad Hassan did win the match by disqualification, because he was about to win, and then Sting attacked Muhammad Hassan, Ric Flair came and attacked Hassan, Scott Steiner came in and attacked Hassan. So the Main Event Mafia causing disqualification, beating up Muhammad Hassan, taking him down, but Muhammad Hassan does defend the title once again. They both were really good in the ring, performed really, really well. I guess just the odd face and heel combination brought it down just enough to kind of get us out of that 90 bracket, which is a bit of a shame. But then afterwards we had the official beatdown. So Sting, Jarrett, Flair, Scott Steiner beat down Muhammad Hassan, 100 rated. So the official beatdown kind of took place after the matchup. So that should really work out well. So the Main Event Mafia were all over this show here tonight. They attacked, a lot of people in the Battle of Glory series. They beat up the world champions, so they had a big, big night. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any popularity changes for them. And overall, 91 rated, so you've got to be pretty pleased with that. We got there, we hit the 90s, that was kind of the goal. So I might give Chris Jericho some support. He did have a bit of an injury, so let's give him a bit of love. I'm going to give Lita some praise. She's come back, had a much better performance here today, and who else could I really... I might say to Billy Gunn, I'm going to criticize him for a poor performance, because he was poor. He was not good tonight. So that might not go down very well with Billy, but I'm sorry, you were not good tonight. So Jericho and Lita, they're happy. Billy Gunn didn't seem too concerned with your speech, at least for now. Billy, if he keeps screwing up, we might have another issue, that is for sure, because I gotta admit, I was pretty disappointed. Like, come on, how difficult is it to perform in a tag team match, especially a fatal 4-way tag team match, to have a 60? That's pretty bad. So let's have a look at this Jericho injury. So he can continue to work through it. It's only an 18-day injury, so that's okay. Good news as well, Fallen Angel, he'll be back in 6 days, so he'll be back for our next pay-per-view, which will be No Surrender, and that also will be the final pay-per-view that'll also be the Bound for Glory series final, which is a little bit concerning, because we've only had 5 matches from everyone in the Bound for Glory series, so we're kind of a little bit behind. So we might need to really ramp it up over the next month of shows. Maybe even do a special one-night only event in a different country. Maybe a lot of you guys have said, hey, why don't you do one in Canada? Maybe that's what we need to do, or maybe Australia. We could go there as well. And that might be a way to get a few more Bound for Glory series matches done, because we're a little bit behind right now. And that's my own fault. But I didn't realize we had not as much time. We've got 1 month to go until the final, so we need everyone to have... Well, normally I think we have 10 matches, is it? Last year we had everyone have 9, so we've got to get everyone to have 4 more matches, except for A-Train, who needs to have 3. So that's not too bad. It could be doable. So everyone needs to have a match every week. So that's the challenge. Alright, so let's check out some of the results. Some people we don't really care about getting contract offers. Sarah Del Rey wants some momentum. Well, you had a chance to really improve. Let's see what she's currently 41 pop right now. she did move up 1 popularity point, so that's something. You know, a good match. She moved up a popularity point. 0.57 buy rate for Hard Justice. I think that's decent. Scott Steiner doesn't like Park. Well, we just brought him in. He wants to get rid of him already. Jim Cornette's a big fan of Nakamura, and Ric Flair likes Jay Lethal. Well, that's kind of interesting. He likes his promo as well. If you think about what they did together, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Alright, so let's check out some of the results. Abyss up to 94 popularity. It feels like he's moved up again. Yeah, maybe. Oh, he's at least... Well, he's thereabouts. Maybe not, but he did take a loss, but didn't really matter. So Abyss doing really well there. He's just on fire. AJ's getting very close to being that world champion contender. Nearly in the 90s. He's high 80s at the moment. That's crazy. Shelley gets another big win. He's back to 81 popularity, which is fantastic. A-Train, he's someone who needs a bit of momentum. Well, he's actually still got momentum positive, because when he's not fighting a main event guy, he's winning. He's beating a lot of the low-end guys, but just doesn't beat the top guys. But he's still sitting pretty good. Anyways, keep moving along. Billy Gunn, mid-60s. Bobby Roode. I think Roode might have lost some popularity. Maybe there's a chance. Cesaro, 62-ish. Chavo, 62, 63. He had a really good performance, Chavo. I'm pretty impressed with him. Chris Harris, James Storm. Let's see how they go. Chris Hero's in the mid-60s. That's a huge rise. Jericho's back in the 90s with his major victory. Christian just outside of the 90s. Chris Saban's only at 70. No improvement for CM Punk despite the video package. I guess because it didn't rate all that well. It only rated, I think, 46. So if it had a rate of maybe 60, 70, he definitely would have improved, but not quite what we were hoping for there. Goldberg, 89-ish. I don't know if that's an improvement. He had a big segment. Yeah, I don't think he did improve. Yeah, actually, no, he did improve. He went up by a popularity point compared to last month, which is good. If we can get him to 90, that'd be fantastic. James Storm, his popularity is a little bit all over the place. It's kind of, mid-70s. You'd think he'd be a little bit better than that. Jay Lethal, despite losing the belt, is still strong. He's in the 60s now, considering he was at 50 a couple months ago before the Feast of Fight match. That's a really great rise to the top. Winning the X Division title worked out really well for him. Didn't really hurt Jay Lethal. Alex Shelley in the end. So that's good news. Jay Lethal had one title defense, so at least he got to defend the belt once. So that was a good win in the end for him. Jeff Hardy doing quite well. He had a big win as well, Jeff Hardy. So he's currently a bit all over the place with popularity, but we'll see. Yeah, probably no real change despite the win. He did pin Matt Morgan, so that probably would have affected it. Jeff Jarrett, his popularity is really on the rise. So he's gone from 84, 85, 86 to 87, 89. Wow, so all those strong segments today really helping Jeff Jarrett out. So he is almost... Well, he is the top guy. He's the biggest name in the Main Event Mafia right now, which is kind of odd to think. But well, maybe Ric Flair's a little bit bigger, but he's not full-time in talent. I guess nobody really is, are they? Lashley, wow. You want to talk about a rise. So Lashley, before his return, was 78. 75, actually, before he returned. So within 1 month of feuding with Goldberg, he's gone from 75... He's now 84, 83, 85, so he's now heading towards the mid-80s in most regions. That is a pretty big rise for Lashley. Last month he was in the high 70s, so already a rapid rise to the top, and that's from just doing these strong segments, these strong angles with Goldberg. So this turn for Lashley is working out really well for him, and since he's come back, he's gone through 4 other guys as well and having better matches, in my opinion. So Lashley's popularity can if he can continue to improve, be fantastic. And Lashley might get so popular that him beating Goldberg might not even be that big of a deal, which would be a bit of a shame, but at least it won't hurt Goldberg in the end. Lita, 72, 70. I'm going to say a much better performance from Lita. I'm really happy with her result. That was her best match that she's had all year. And in fact, her best match she's ever had here in the last couple of year and a bit here in Total Extreme Wrestling. So really, really positive stuff from there. I'm very, very pleased. By far, her best match. She came close in the tag match, but Majority of her matches are low 70s at best, so that's a really good performance from her. I guess a simple little tweak in her stamina, I think, is what I did. Improved it, or whatever I did, I don't know, but I forget now. Matt Hardy up to 74. I feel like he was at 70. No, he's still at 74, so no improvement despite beating Bobby Roode. Morgan Still's going well. Muhammad Hassan with a big victory. He's at 92. I don't think he was that high, despite not having the best match in the world. So yeah, he was at 90, and now he's bumped up to 92 with a big victory over Jeff Jarrett. So that's really positive. And hopefully he can keep that spot there, and that'd be really strong for the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. And the last few here, sorry it took forever. Ric Flair, 91. I think he was, what, 88, wasn't he? Yeah, 88, 87. So the Main Event Mafia really benefited tonight. He's now at 91, 90. So a lot of good, strong segments, and the Main Event Mafia really rapidly improved. Just with the New Age Outlaws, I know they lost here tonight. I'm thinking that I might put them in the Main Event Mafia. I'm thinking I might turn them. So I've started planting potential seeds for these guys to be in the Main Event Mafia. I just figure that could be a really strong inclusion and might almost save their careers a little bit here in TNA, because at the moment they're going down and down and down. There's other teams overtaking them. Cesaro and Chris Hero are on the verge of overtaking them. So I feel like for the New Age Outlaws to survive, they kind of need to turn and do something. So I'm thinking maybe join the Main Event Mafia, just getting the rub from these top tier main eventers, and also being the guys in the Mafia that perhaps could take the losses, that could get beaten up, because you kind of need that in a group. You don't want Sting and Ric Flair and Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett, you really high level quality superstars, getting beaten down all the time. So this might be a good alternative for that. Might not be as strong as the others, but maybe you can elevate them and try and get them in the 70s with their popularity anyways. Truth, he's nearly at 70. Anyone else to kind of look at? Joe, we need to get him 70. He's getting close. Scott Steiner had a big night, and wow, holy crap. Scott Steiner, are you holy, okay, so Scott Steiner, 2 months ago, before the Main Event Mafia began, he was 79, 80 in like a couple of regions. Within a couple of months, he's gone from that, he's now nearly across the board in the 90s, very close. That is incredible. Scott Steiner is having the most successful run he's had. At one point he was mid-80s in October when he was feuding with I think it was Christian for the championship. He had a tremendous run there. Didn't really do a lot in between from then on, but joining this Mafia, wow, it's improved him a lot, and now he's one of the most popular guys in the company. The Main Event Mafia have got 3 guys across the board, all nearly in the 90s. That's incredible. That's a very strong group at the moment. Nakamura, he's now in the 70s. That's very positive. So Nakamura gone from 63 to somehow in the 70s. That's a really crazy rise as well. So Nakamura's doing very well. Sting, everyone else is in the 90s. Can Sting join them? Well, he's gone up. Mid-80s now. He's at 85. Hard to believe that Sting is the least popular guy in the group. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Sting, 82, 83. And after tonight's show, 85, 87, 88, 88, 83. So mid to high 80s. So Sting's had a massive rise as well. And that could be a career saver for Sting because he was heavily declining. If he can have a bit more popularity to his name, he can get his popularity to 90. Ideally, I'd love to get Sting to 100. Sting at that legendary, immortal status here in TNA would be amazing. And he would probably benefit a lot because of it. So we can get him there, that'd be awesome. But overall, wow, what a swing in popularity. That's a huge night here for TNA because Main Event Mafia, it was their night. We put them all over the show. They were dominant. They were, beating down Hassan. They beat down, had great promos, and they benefited hugely because of it. So now the Mafia is getting close to being 90 across the board, arguably being an unstoppable team. I mean, who the hell's going to put them down? It's quite crazy. Layla, her contract is up for renewal. I'm going to let her go, actually. She's not even wrestling. She's brought in as an authority figure, which I think is a little bit silly. She's a wrestler, so I think I need to go in and actually edit her and kind of fix her, because at the moment she's not a full-time wrestler, which obviously she would be. So we'll need to fix her up, but again, maybe I'll keep her on for another 3 months or so, just to give her a bit more popularity, to send her on her way. But yeah, so not going too well there. Nothing else to really look at there. Oh yeah, Vanessa Craven. I was just kind of looking through women in the database, and I found her, and she's got like a bit more of a menacing look about her, so I'm kind of gonna bring her in to just be a low-end heel for us. I don't know, I've got her in as a pay-per-appearance deal because she won't do developmental, so we've got her there, and we might do something with her. And then Kelly Couture as well. She's another woman I looked at and thought, okay, she's got decent enough in-ring skills, she looks good, so maybe there's a chance for her to have a bit of success with us as well. So just thinking about maybe replacing a few women down in developmental. That obviously Christy Hemme, ODB, very, very close to getting called up. They can get called up at any time. So we've got to try and think about maybe replacing those down there and going from there. Take a look at Monday Night Raw. They had 84 rated with Batista beating Orton, Kane beating Eddie Guerrero, Victoria beating Ashley, Masters and Khali to beat the Bashams, and V Squared. Who's that? It's Val Venus and Viscera. Okay, they beat the Gemini. I think that's it. Gemini, yeah. They're awful, so who cares? But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, so a really, really successful pay-per-view. We've got a lot more to come. This is the final month until the in the Bound for Glory series. After No Surrender, we'll find out what our Bound for Glory main event will be. It'll be Goldberg, Lashley on the card as well. Ric Flair will probably have a match on the card. So it's going to be big. It's going to be a big one. We've got some big episodes coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. If you also want to land yourself a copy of Total Extreme Wrestling, there's a giveaway in the link in the description down below, so the link will be there. Click on it, enter in. If you're a subscriber of the channel, you can enter in straight away. Follow me on Twitch as well, you can enter in. So all you have to do is follow my socials, and you can enter into the giveaway to win yourself a copy of TW. If you don't want to do that, if you just want to buy the game, you want it right now, use the code TWBP, get yourself $5 off. Why not? You may as well save some money, so you'd be crazy not to. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like on it. As always, 100 likes equals another episode. Thank you for watching. See you next time.